Hi my little Rays, it's Ray from Ray Studios, and today I will be making a commentary video on the creator Black Fiona Apple. He is a commentary TikToker who mostly talks about the double standards and sexism amongst women. And the majority of the time, he gives really great takes depending on the situation. And at this point, you might all be thinking, well, Ray, if he has good takes some of the time, why are you criticizing him? Key word, some of the time. And this time, he did not have a good take. For context, he made 2 videos discussing AI, and both of them leave much to be desired. But now with all that context out of the way, I want to make 2 things notably clear. Just because I get heated in this video does not mean I encourage any harassment towards his way. And secondly, if you're going to disagree with me respectfully. Any comments telling me to KYS or just sprouting random nonsense is going to be immediately deleted. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video.
If he's using AI, I'm done supporting the GOAT. Respectfully, I need some of you to shut the fuck up about AI, okay? Do you not feel extremely insufferable when you say things like this unprovoked? Now,
Nope, we don't.
I don't particularly like AI artwork, but how come people who don't like it have to bring it up every time they think about it?
Well, let's see here. Number 1, it harms the environment. Number 2, it's making children illiterate. Number 3, it's accidentally ruining the academic scores of other children who are actually putting in the work because teachers are using a generative AI system to detect other kids' AI-generated essays. And number 4, it's taking jobs away from artists, animators, illustrators, and writers who work their backs off to get to the position that they're in. Does that answer your question, sir?
You complaining about it, you saying, oh, well, I can't support this, is not gonna make it go away.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Black Fiona Apple telling us, without actually telling us, that he has never heard of this little thing called a successful protest. Protesting is just a bigger scale form of complaining. So no duh, yes, complaining about something enough will absolutely make it go away. And honestly, it astounds me that we live in a world where successful protests have happened, and yet there are still people that can confidently say and then double down on them saying, well, complaining about it isn't gonna make it go away, even though there's historical evidence to prove them otherwise.
I was sitting here like, oh, well, if it's AI, I can't support it because then it's not real art. You either like it or you don't. It's like you go to a restaurant and you eat a burger and you're like, this is a good burger. And then you find out it was frozen beforehand. You're like, wait, this was a frozen burger? Ugh, I don't like it anymore.
Those 2 things aren't even slightly comparable. Person A is complaining that they didn't know how their food was being prepared, and person B is complaining about either people's functionality declining because people don't know how to do anything without asking ChatGPT for assistance, people's jobs being taken away because corporate executives would rather cut costs wherever they can than actually care about the product they're making, or the environment getting totally screwed over. If you think for more than 3 seconds, you will automatically realize that those 2 things are not comparable.
You're literally just playing high and mighty for no reason because you actually genuinely don't care. You just want to hop on the, oh, boo, AI is bad bandwagon.
Look, sir, if you don't care that children's brains are being stunted because of AI, and you don't care that people's jobs are being taken away because of AI, and you don't care about the environment, just say that. Don't get up on a podium and say, well, actually, none of you care about AI. You just want to seem holier than thou and superior to everybody else. And you want to know what, Black Fiona? You're right. We are morally superior than you, because while AI frat bros are digging their head into the sand and gooning to AI images, while also telling us to pipe down and get with the program, we're over here actively trying to help people who have been negatively harmed by AI. So yes, we are morally superior than you. Seize and cope, as the young ones would say.
And for people who are like, oh, but like the environment, you don't care about the environment. You don't care. Most of you don't even recycle.
You know this how? Have you asked people who don't use or don't like AI if they recycle? No, you're just preactively saying that anyone who doesn't like AI and uses that excuse doesn't even recycle? Of course you are. And let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say what you just said is correct. So? Like literally so? Just because someone else isn't actively recycling or planting trees does not somehow make your action to harm the environment somehow null and void. Like seriously, all I heard throughout that section was, yeah, I know what I'm doing is negatively impacting the planet and leaving trouble for future generations, but AI is entertaining me, and it's really annoying to watch people complain about AI. So you guys need to stop. You are acting holier than thou.
AI is here and it's not going anywhere. Get with the program. Bro, I saw someone post the other day. They're like, oh yeah, it's definitely like a flex if you've never used ChatGPT.
It is a flex. Sorry, not sorry. While other people need AI to make their artwork, I do it all by myself with no help. While other people need to use ChatGPT to write their essays for school, I can write them all by myself. And finally, when other people need to use ChatGPT to fill out their job applications, I, at the age of 15, could do it all by myself. By the literal definition of a flex, it is a flex not to use ChatGPT.
Like, bro, I'll tell you right now, if you're not using ChatGPT, you are 100% missing out, okay? And I don't mean for generating stupid art.
Yeah, no, you're really not missing out on that much. Anything AI can do, there's already a concept or an app that does it a million times better and is a gazillion times more ethical than using AI. For example, you want AI to write you a story? Easy. There's these little things called books and fan fiction websites. I recommend AO3 and Wattpad. That's not a good enough example? Alright, I'll give you another one. You use ChatGPT to help you with research? Boom, there's this little thing called Google that is completely free to use. Need another example? Alright, bucko. You need help with school? There's Google, dictionaries, and other history books, along with the elderly. And my last example are for the introverts out there. You need help finding starter-up questions to say to people at parties? Google got you covered there. Just look at this screenshot. The literal only thing AI can do that ethical apps like Google cannot do is do the work for you.
You either like the song, you either like the picture, you like the book, or you don't, okay? Who wrote it or how it was written doesn't change that. You either enjoyed it or you didn't. So I'm tired of people going around acting like this somehow changes their experience in experiencing this product. Now, personally, do I like the concept of AI art? Do I consider AI art people real artists? No, I do not. However, if I see some like cool form of art and then I find out it's AI, am I gonna pretend that it doesn't look cool to me? No.
Oh yes, you're totally right. Absolutely, completely right. Look at all of this AI generated art I found. Look everyone, isn't this AI generated slop, AI generated art so cool? Isn't it so cool? It's totally worth the fact that people are losing their jobs and whatnot. This is so worth it. Look how cool it is.
I'm so tired of like all this virtue signaling and all this pretending to be holier than that. Like literally, regardless of AI being good or bad, in like 10 years, we're gonna get to a point where it's intertwined with our society. And you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, what was the point of me just hating on AI anytime I had a chance to?
AI is already able to replicate ASMR content to the point where if you didn't know how realistic AI could get, it could almost pass as human. So AI is already coming for your TikTok job. Why am I bringing this up? Well, I'm bringing it up so that I can say to every single one of the AI supporters or AI defenders out there, I don't want to hear not one thing about how AI stole my job, because no dip, Airlock. Of course it stole your job. We all told you it was going to steal your job. We all told you that it stole our jobs. But yet, oh, it entertains me. it's entertaining me, and my job is unable to be copycatted, so I don't have to worry about it.
Dude, the thing is, bro, okay, the thing that bothers me, the thing that made me really mad is nobody said anything about AI in the video that you responded to. So you're literally just thinking to yourself, but if it is AI though, I don't like it. And it's
So let me get this straight. You made a 2-minute long rant video about how AI is the future, and if you don't have AI, you're really missing out. And calling everyone who complained about AI people who are just acting holier than thou and don't actually care about the negative impacts of AI. Because a singular person made an unrelated comment about if this person uses AI, I can't support it. Not because of anything else. Not because the entire video was swarmed by people complaining about this unrelated topic. No, it's because one singular guy not even complained, but simply stated a fact that if he did, hypothetically, use AI, he wouldn't support it. Now this would be the part of my video where I tell you all farewell, promote the projects I'm working on, and beg for money with my commissions, but unfortunately, he had to go and double down.
This is your second miss, Unc. You're losing it. AI art is unethical. See, you guys don't listen, and this is why your lives aren't going the way you want it to. I never said AI artwork isn't unethical. I never said that it's not bad for artists. I never said that's not bad for the environment.
Oh my flipping god, he did the thing. He pulled that stupid I didn't technically say that card. Oh my god. For any of you who don't know or didn't watch my previous videos, I hate it when commentators or people who rant say something absolutely deplorable or says a bad take and then does the, well, I didn't technically say that, so you were all wrong. Because, yeah, you didn't technically say AI was ethical. You just spent the entire 2 minutes of your video hyping up AI and saying that anyone who complained about AI was acting holier than thou and didn't actually care, and told all of us to get with the program and to stop complaining about AI, but let's completely forget about that because, well, I didn't technically say AI was ethical.
I said my problem is a lot of you bring up how much you hate AI every time you have the opportunity to when you don't even stand on those emotions. You're like, oh my gosh, AI is taking work from like actual artists. How many of you have actually supported an actual artist outside of saying, oh my gosh, that's a cool picture, bro? How many of you compost? How many of you elect not to have a car and use public transportation or riding a bike to get to place to avoid that effect on the environment?
I have to be in the Twilight Zone. There's no way this guy just genuinely used the argument of, well, what are you doing to help? Okay, let's start with the art. First off, horrible comparison, because even so much as leaving a short comment could help boost them in the algorithm, so horrible comparison there. And secondly, to address the art and the environment, so in case I haven't said this again, my inability to help does not make your willing contribution to hurting someone or destroying something null and void. And I just thought of this right now, but what you just said completely destroys your argument. 1 minute you're saying, you guys always have to talk about it and it's pointless. AI is the future. Stop talking about how horrible AI is every chance you get. But now it's suddenly, oh, y'all don't stand on business. Y'all don't do anything to actually help the environment or to help other artists. Because really think about it. talking about AI and the negative consequences that it has would be helping artists, would be helping writers, and would be spreading awareness about the negative consequences towards the environment. So we would be standing on business. These two claims that you've shown to us cannot coexist with each other, Black Fiona Apple. It simply cannot coexist.
I'm saying my problem is y'all sit here pretending that you care about artists in the first place. And if you did, they wouldn't all be so broke. And if you really cared about what was bad for the environment, you would be doing more about it than complaining online about AI specifically.
But again, informing people about the negative consequences of AI would be helping the environment. Oh, but is that just not good enough for your standards? Also, we just love that entitled people logic. If you actually cared if artists were poor or hungry or not, you, other poor people, would give them money you don't have.
I can't think of the last time there's been an advancement in technology and then humanity was like, oh, never mind, we're not.
So, just because humanity hasn't gone full stop on an idea that they have doesn't mean that it was ever a good idea. Like, I'm sure that in World War II, everyone was ecstatic that they made nuclear atom bombs, but now all of these places know how to make nuclear atom bombs, which won't be so pleasant for us. But no, apparently by your logic, we didn't throw it in the trash, so that means it was a good idea.
Not gonna use it. If you aren't doing anything other than being insufferable.
But remember guys, he didn't actually say that AI is unethical. He doesn't think AI is unethical. He just thinks that everyone who complains about AI being unethical is insufferable while also hyping up AI. He doesn't think AI is ethical at all.
Like if someone asks you about your thoughts on AI and then you say something like this, okay, fine. My problem was the initial comment was on a video that had nothing to do with AI. This dude was just like, oh, hypothetically, but if this is AI though, I couldn't take it. I'm like,
so you made a 2-minute long video calling us all insufferable for not liking AI because one person made a hypothetical, unrelated question on your video. Not even a hate comment, just made a hypothetical statement that if this person did use AI, that they wouldn't support it. How old are you? Like, this is the type of behavior I would expect to see from an immature 12-year-old. Like, are you seriously going to sit here and tell me that out of the entire time you've been posting on TikTok, you've never gotten a comment that was unrelated to the topic of the video?
bro, everyone wants to hop on the bandwagon. People love to pretend they care about things that they don't care about. Yo,
say it with me now, kids. Just because the opinion is popular does not mean that everyone who agrees with the opinion is just jumping on the bandwagon.
Don't support artists, y'all don't help out the environment. But now you expect me to believe that you care so much about artists and the environment that you hating on AI every time you get the chance to isn't performative.
Hey you guys, you want to see my impression of Black Fiona Apple right now? People who complain about AI are insufferable and obnoxious. They don't actually care about artists, writers, or the environment. They just want to hop on the bandwagon. And please ignore the fact that warning people about AI would be helping artists, writers, and the environment. Please ignore that.
Like, be real with yourself for a second, okay? The internet is full of people pretending to care about things, and now this is the newest thing that people are pretending to care about. Also, hold up. The notion of pretending that you heard this song, you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best song I ever heard. It's my favorite song, and you find out it's AI, you're telling me that you're going to stop listening to it, that you enjoy that song any less.
Yes, we would, because we have this little thing called having empathy for other people who are not ourselves. 9 times out of 10, when it comes to an AI-generated song, it's either stolen the voice of someone else who did not consent for their voice to be used, or the lyrics were stolen from somebody else who did not give consent for their song's lyrics to be stolen from. So yes, Black Fiona Apple, if I figured out that a song I liked was made by AI, I'd stop listening to it, and I wouldn't like it. Why? Because I have basic empathy for people. I don't like the idea of people busting their butts off to perfect a craft only for their voices, only for their works to get stolen by a robot. And then, on top of their works not being credited towards them, if the thing that was made by AI gets popular, you get zero credit for it and zero pay from it. And I can bet you on all of the money I have in both my wallet and Cash App account that if Black Fiona Apple was in a situation where all his money was solely reliant on his TikTok content and he had no other means of getting paid, and then all of a sudden AI took his face, took his voice, took his style of content, and then boom, he loses viewers, he loses followers, he loses in the algorithm. Now all of a sudden, he'll want to cry that AI is taking his job. Oh, but let me guess, Black Fiona Apple, it's entertaining you, it's making your life more convenient, and your job isn't being negatively impacted by AI, so you don't give three hoots.
No, you guys, oh my gosh, bro, you're just performing for one another. You guys are all so fake, like it's crazy to me.
Yeah, guys, they're so fake. They don't plant trees in their spare time, hypothetically. They don't recycle, hypothetically. And they don't give artists money they don't have. Aren't they so fake? They're so just putting on a performance to act all high and mighty. Look, Black Fiona Apple, the truth of the matter is, the longer you keep on this whole I'm entertained by AI and AI is helping me, so why should I care if it's negatively impacting other people? Then of course you're going to think us being upset is crazy. Finally, we're at the end of this train wreck, and now I can get on to my final thoughts. And my thoughts are, this thing was a complete mess. He made a whole 2-minute video because some rando made a hypothetical, irrelevant comment that had nothing to do with his original video. And then, when people rightfully said that his take was stinky doo-doo piles of garbage, he then proceeded to make another video repeating the same awful takes, doubling down on said awful takes, and then has proceeded to say nothing else about it, with zero acknowledgement that he was ever wrong. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, he doesn't think he's wrong. He most likely still thinks that everyone in the comments of those videos are still being preachy and annoying and just weren't listening to what he was saying. And I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I've seen people with the personality that Black Fiona has. And since I know there's nothing for me to say to these types of people to make them listen, I'll just have to hit you with a meme that I made. Black Fiona Apple in his first video, when did I say AI was ethical? Black Fiona Apple in his first video, if you don't have ChatGPT, you're really missing out. But on a serious note, this behavior is extremely concerning. These entire 2 videos could basically be summed up with, yeah, I know the things that I am doing are negatively impacting other people and leaving people without jobs and hungry, but AI is the future, so stop complaining about it. And I wish I was joking, but I'm not. Throughout his entire 2 videos, he goes, yeah, AI does insert bad thing here, but it's human evolution. It's gonna keep going no matter what you say, so stop complaining about it. Honestly, if you keep using AI, it's rather selfish of you. And yes, it is extremely selfish of you. There are multiple other more ethical resources for you to use that are not AI. And I've already listed off all of the other ethical apps you can use for a variety of different reasons. So my point being, you are willingly choosing the most unethical option you have. over the one that is more ethical. And yes, that makes you a bad person. Now, if a bunch of AI frat bros are going to cry about being called a bad person, then please go cry to your other frat bros who will actually care. But with that out of the way, that will be the end of today's video. If you like today's video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more of this type of commentary content. And if you want to support the channel, please commission an actual artist, aka me. But with my self-promo out the way, that will be all. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye!